Welcome to Jank Play TCG. My name's Landon, and here we play Jank. And today is the Jank List for Destined Rivals. Destined Rivals pre-releases start, I believe, tomorrow. And here are all the Jank cards that you need to be made aware of. So, this set continues the trainer's Pokemon mechanic. And it includes a lot more trainers than before. So, we've got Cynthia, we've got Ethan, we've got Misty, we've got Steven, we've got Marnie, we've got Arvin, and in addition to those 6, we have Team Rocket, which consists of so many cards. But don't worry, I go through all of them. And we're starting off with Ethan's Pinsir. Ethan's Pinsir's, really the only thing notable for this is the 1-point return, 3 energy, where you can do 170 damage if one of your Pokemon were knocked out the previous turn, because it does 70 plus if any of your Ethan Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon during their last turn. This attack becomes 100 more damage. I forgot to mention, translations and card images are provided from Justin Basil. Highly recommend you check out that site. It's a fantastic site for all the upcoming information that you may want. They even have information on the next sets already. So Ethan's Pinsir is Pauper legal, which is cool, but other than that, I think this isn't like the best of the best, but it's something to keep your eye on, especially if Double Colorless actually does get reprinted, which I'm fully expecting it to. I put out a speculation video a while ago about it, but I think it's going to. And this could be a pretty solid attack. Doubled for weakness, because you hit weakness on like Charizard and a bunch of other dark weak relevant Pokemon. Or grass weak dark relevant Pokemon. You'd one-shot those. I think this is incredibly awesome for a single prize basic, right? The 3 energy is a little high, but other than that, Mega EX. So I cover all the EXs and all the trainers Pokemon. And the main thing to talk about with this is the Buzz Boost. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot, you may search your deck for up to 3 basic grass energy and attach them to this Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck, right? And normally I would be like, kind of whatever about this. But then you attach 1 energy from your hand to this Pokemon, and you can do Jet Cyclone for 210 damage, and you get to move 3 energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. So you can actually accelerate grass energy out onto the field while attacking. It just seems really cool. Sure, you gotta get in and out of the active, but we've got things to help with that. So I like it. Breloom! Okay, I am gonna... Just to let you know, I'm always going to put Breloom cards on these lists. Whenever there's a Breloom card, it's going to be on the list, right? This Breloom, while not great. Stage 1, 2 energy, damage rush, 30 plus. Flip a coin until you get tails. This attack does 50 more for each heads, which just makes me wonder, are you feeling lucky? Like I put in this slide. Feeling lucky, punk? Because if you can flip multiple heads, that's 50 damage a heads. That's pretty darn good. And it's Pauper legal, so you can get into some shenanigans there. It is only 2 energy, so a Crispin will deal with it. Like, there is something to that attack. If we ever get something that can also manipulate coin flips, maybe. Cynthia's Roserade Glory Yell. I don't know if it'll actually be called that. That's just a translation. I thought Rebel Yell first, but whatever. Cynthia's Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. It's Lilligant, but for Cynthia's Pokemon only. Basically, Stage 1 Grass type that increases damage. Lilligant does 20, Cynthia's Roserade does 30. All of the Rotoms. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I love the Rotoms. Gadget Show is on all 4 of these Rotoms. So you get one of each typing, basically, like, And they all have the same attack, which this attack does 30 damage for each Pokemon tool card attached to all of your Pokemon, which means you can try to hit multiple weaknesses. You can hit Grass Weak, Fire Weak, Water Weak, Lightning Weak, and deal 180 tops, right? 180 tops. But doubled with weakness, that's 360 damage. That's one hit KOing everything, and it's 2 colorless. Again, a Crispin will deal with that. And you use the Snorlax from 151 to recover leftovers, and you can just continually play down tools. So it's tools attached to all of your Pokemon, right? You can have 6 Pokemon in play, 5 benched, 1 active. That makes 6 times 3, that's 18 times 10, 180. So you can do 180 every turn for not a lot of investment. I love it. I love these Rotoms. So excited for it. And they're Pauper legal. It's going to be awesome. Shaman! With the Flower Curtain ability, a lot of people are saying this is our new Manaphy replacement, and I think it is. I think it's very well balanced. Flower Curtain, prevent all damage done to your benched Pokemon without a rule box by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Now, I know that seems like, oh man, that's so much weaker, but you gotta think, mostly the rule box Pokemon that are seeing play are Terra, so they have bench protection already. So Shaman does have 10 more HP than Manaphy did, meaning you cannot get it with Buddy Buddy Poffin. That's the biggest nerf to this card. Even though without a rule box thing, I don't think is that big of a deal, right? I think it's just the 10 HP that's going to make the big difference here. Crustle, with the ability Mysterious Stonehouse, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX. So it's kind of a wall, right? And with 3 energy, you can do 120. This attack isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, and you can hit for weakness. So you can one-shot an Ogerpon, which I think is awesome, right? And then you can also have protection from a Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. Sorry, I should have clarified. Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. You can hit for weakness, knock it down in 1 hit, then be protected from their other EXs. I think this is secretly awesome. Like, secretly awesome. Hydrapple in a single prize form. Heck yeah. With that first attack, single grass energy, you discard 6 basic grass energy cards from your hand in order to knock out your opponent's active Pokemon. If you can't discard 6 basic grass energy cards in this way, this attack does nothing. Sure, there is a lot you have to discard, and you have to evolve all the way up to stage 2, but you knock out anything. And an Earthen Vessel and a Superior Energy Retrieval is all you need, plus 3 cards to discard to play those 2 cards. And you can get all that energy in your hand and do it again. You do that 3 times on 3 different EXs, you win. It's that simple. It's that simple. Can we do it, though? Team Rocket Spidops. So this is our first Team Rocket card. And this thing is so freaking cool. So it's got the Charging Up ability. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. Cool, so it can set itself up. And then Rocket Rush 30 times. This attack does 30 damage for each of your Team Rocket's Pokemon in play. This immediately made me think of Passimian with the Team Play attack, because that was one of the first decks I built when I got into the TCG again, you know, in my adult years. But this is even better because Team Play only did 30 for each of your benched Passimian. At max, you could have 3. So at max, you're doing 100 damage. Team Rocket Spidops is just Team Rockets in play. So if you don't do Area 0 Underdepths with the Terra Pokemon, that'll just be 6 Pokemon. That's 180. We mentioned this with the Rotoms. 180 is good. You 2-shot things, 1-shot with weakness. Really good. Arbovia EX with the Oil Machine Gun. Again, I don't think it's going to translate like that. But you choose one of your opponent's Pokemon 6 times and do 20 damage to it. You can choose the same Pokemon more than once. So you get to choose 6 different Pokemon, but they can all be the same Pokemon. So you make 6 choices and 20 damage per choice you make, basically. It's a little confusing the way it's worded, right? This damage isn't affected by weakness or resistance, as always. That's 120 damage just placed where you want it, wherever, which is awesome. And then, Aroma Shot 160. This Pokemon recovers from all special conditions. Recovering from special conditions after you attack is... who cares? But 160 is still not bad, but I really like that first attack. Did I call it an ability earlier? It's an attack. Rabska EX. It took us this long to see Rabska EX, apparently. And we've got first attack, which is upside down draw, where you just draw 3 cards from the bottom of your deck, which is cool. If you were just Ionode and you're like, oh man, a key card that I only have 1 copy of in the deck just got put on the bottom of the deck, upside down draw, it's back in your hand. Then we have Psychic, which does 20 damage, but this attack does 90 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. That adds up quickly. And I'm going to say this again, your grass, you hit Charizard EX for weakness. Like, you know, I know Charizard's not as relevant as it used to be, but it's a plus. And besides, like, 90 for each energy attached, that can add up quickly. That can really add up quickly. After 3 energy, that is 290 damage. Yeah. All the Ogerpons. We are getting every Ogerpon in single prize form, which is really cool. They all have the same, basically, first attack, which is just accelerating energy, right? It's a 1 colorless attack, but it's grass or flame or water or rock. Dance. It's dancing. And you search your deck for a basic whatever type corresponds with that Ogerpon and attach it to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. I like it because excuse me. I like it because this Pokemon has 110 HP, which is not nothing, right? They do have an attack. I wouldn't recommend any of them, really. It's really just for energy acceleration. Is there better energy acceleration out there? Yes, but this is all Popper, which is awesome. Sometimes Popper feels like a slower format, except for the matches you just watched earlier this week. Those were pretty fast matches. I was playing a 0 energy deck though, so I wouldn't need one of these, but I could see an argument where someone did. So I think these Ogerpons are all jank enough to make the list, and they're Popper. Ooh, pink lemonade flavor. Arcanine. Arcanine makes the list. It makes it because it's Popper. That's it. Punishing Fangs, 100 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Darkness Pokemon, this attack does 100 more damage. Sure, it's 3 energy. When we get that double colorless reprint, that'll be 2 attachments, which will be nice. I'm going to keep mentioning that because, oh boy, do these cards make me think it's coming. It's really situational, but that's where I like it. You know, like it's one of those cards where it's not going to see play most of the time, but you're going to play it. And one time you run into a deck that's just playing a bunch of dark Pokemon, and you're like, oh, 1-hit KO, 1-hit KO, 1-hit KO, 1-hit KO. Oh, I win. Cool. Rapidash, with the ability, we don't care about the attack, with the ability, Hurried Gallop. Once during your turn, you may draw a card. It's Popper legal. We have a new engine in Popper, which I am so happy for. Oh my gosh, it's been rough with only Dracloak. Now we can play Rapidash and draw 1 card. Dracloak is still better, but it's a different engine if you don't want to run Dracloak, right? Like, Team Rocket's Moltres EX to go from so many Popper cards to an EX. You know, it's like Whiplash here. So we have Evil Burn. I was like, that's not the first attack. The first attack's kind of whatever. But Evil Burn for 4 energy, keep that in mind, but also keep in mind Team Rocket's energy. which counts as 2, so really it's just 3 attachments. So that's Crispin, and then the next turn, Team Rocket's Energy. Discard a Team Rocket's Energy from this Pokemon. If you do, discard your opponent's active Pokemon and all attached cards. Discard them. Not shuffle them into the deck. Not put them back into your hand. Discard them. If you're running this, you are not planning on winning by prizes. You are planning on benching out your opponent, and you are planning on just discarding all of their main attackers. Ethan's Typhlosion, with the attack Buddy Blast, where you do 40 plus, this attack does 60 more damage for each Ethan's adventure card in your discard pile. That just makes me think of Braxton with the Serena, the imaged right there, where it does 60 for each Serena card in the discard. This does 40 plus 60 for each, so 40 more damage. It is a stage 2, it is for 1 energy. It's pretty good. Brixton was a pretty good deck. It's not, obviously, it wasn't like one of the best decks out there, but it was fun. Ethan's Magcargo with the Lava Burst attack. I don't really care for the ability. If this Pokemon has no energy attached and has no retreat cost, sure, why not? You're going to want energy on it, though. You're going to want 5 energy on it, because, so it's a 3 energy attack. So then you discard up to 5 energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 70 damage for each card you discard this way. So if you have 5, and you discard all of them, that's 350 damage. And that KOs everything. Except things with Hero's Gate. By everything else. Just play Tool Jammer or something. Team Rocket's Houndoom. With the first attack, Malicious Embers, your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned and confused. This is Pauper legal. I like this. Burned and confused. Confusion is fantastic. Burn is just an add-on for me. Sure, Confusion's great, but Burn, you get that 20 damage, and it's something. It doesn't feel as bad as just Confusion. But then it does have for 2 energy, Scorching Fire for 120, and you discard an energy from this Pokemon. So if we add Burn damage to this, we're at 140. And if they hit themselves with Confusion, that's 30 more damage. That's 170. That's a good chunk of damage for 1 to 2 energy. I like it. I really do like it. In Pauper, I think it could see play. Ethan's Ho-Oh-EX. Really the main thing that makes Ethan's Magcargo work? If it weren't for this, Ethan's Magcargo probably wouldn't have made the list. Other than it's an Ethan's Pokemon, so I had to talk about it. Golden Flame, once during your turn, you may attach up to 2 basic fire energy from your hand to one of your benched Ethan's Pokemon. Most likely Ethan's Magcargo, which probably goes with the Melt and Flow, or if it's in the active, you can retreat, use Ethan's Ho-Oh's EXs, probably 4 of them, to accelerate, what is that, 8 energy, although you won't want to do that, but whatever. And you discard 5, and then you do 350. Like, sure, you gotta get Ethan's Magcargo back into the active spot, but that's easy. Blaziken. Blaziken, I almost skipped. I seriously was like, it doesn't look that great. Then I had to read it, right? Reading the card explains the card. So, we've got Inferno Legs for 3 energy. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. This attack also does 120 to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. We talked about Shaman being back and not being as good, right? Because of the 10 more HP. So, I think bench hitting is still strong. It may not be, broken like it is currently, but I still think it's strong, and Blaziken capitalizes off that. If it came out last set, I could have seen it really kick off with the Blaziken EX, but it didn't. It came out this set, and I think it's a set too late, but I still wanted to talk about it because 120 damage is pretty good. Misty Psyduck. This is tricky, right? So Misty Psyduck, we don't care about the attack. What we really care about is the ability. Slapstick Jump. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard the bottom card of your deck. If you do, discard all cards attached to this Pokemon and put it on top of your deck. Yes, it's just a way to get Misty Psyduck on top of your deck. which you could do Academy at night rather than playing and then using the ability. But the key here is you can have 4 Misty Psyduck all doing that ability to stack all 4 of them on top of your deck. And then you could have stacked 1 more Misty Pokemon on top of your deck. Why would you want 5 Misty Pokemon stacked on top of your deck? We'll find out soon, but keep in mind this is Popper. Misty Starmie. Misty Starmie for a single energy does 60 damage, but if they evolved from Misty Star You this turn, does 80 more. That's 140 damage for a single energy. I think you need to keep that in mind, especially for Popper. 140 is good, especially for 1 energy. Then you just like Turo, pick it back up, play down the Star You, the Star Misty, the Misty Star You, and then play the Misty Starmie on the other Star you had, and you do it again. Misty's Magikarp. We're getting close to the answer with Psyduck. Just hold on. Incredible Dive. It's got an ability, as long as this Pokemon is on your bench, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. Meaning, Dragapult's place 6 damage counters on it cannot affect Misty's Magikarp. You won't be knocking out Magikarps with those sneaky Dragapults, which is really nice because then Misty's Magikarp can evolve into Misty's Gyarados. And this is the answer for that Psyduck question. Misty's Gyarados. You discard the top 7 cards from your deck. This attack does 70 damage times the amount of Misty's Pokemon you discarded in this way. If you put, 5 Misty's Pokemon on top of the deck, you're doing 350 damage. We've mentioned before how 350 damage KOs everything. It makes me think of that Iron Thorns that did the same, but only the top 5 cards, but only with future cards. Misty's Gyarados actually has something that works with it, which is awesome. Misty's Lapras. The first attack, swim together, search your deck for up to 3 Misty's Pokemon, reveal them, put them in your hand, shuffle your deck. Chatot from Temporal Forces, that was the name of the set, right? Yeah, sure. Has the attack Acapella, which just lets you search for 3 basic Pokemon, put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. Misty's Lapras puts them into your hand, which then you can do fun shenanigans with. Also, Misty's Lapras has 110 HP, not 70 HP, so it might stick around for longer than 1 turn. And it's Popper legal. Team Rocket's Articuno. With the Resistance Veil. Prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to your basic Team Rocket's Pokemon. It protects your Team Rocket's Pokemon from, say, Dragapult. Right? You got Team Rocket's Articuno on the bench. All your Team Rocket's Pokemon on the bench are protected from Dragapult. The 6 damage counters, not the 200 damage. Sorry. Just need to clarify that. The attack, I don't care for. Cynthia's Milotic, 2 energy, 60 damage. This attack also does 30 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Only relevant in Popper, really. And even that's a bit of a stretch from me, honestly. I don't think this will make many waves, but I'm going to try it and we'll see. Huntail. It's been a while since we had a Clamperl and Huntail and Gorbise evolutions, but Huntail is certainly interesting. Diver Catch. Whenever one of your water Pokemon is knocked down by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, you may put all basic water energy attached to that Pokemon into your hand instead of the discard pile, meaning Baxcalibur can just accelerate all that energy out again for another big attacker. I'm thinking Whale Lord or Gorbise with Crescendo Wave. Sure, it's a single energy attack, but this attack does 30 damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. Before doing damage, you may attach any number of basic water energy card from your hand to this Pokemon. Shame it isn't Popper is correct. This thing is not Popper, while Huntail is, but Baxcalibur it's not. So, Huntail seems good, seems to work in a lot of situations. Gorbise, very situational, it seems. If you can get that much energy in hand with Hunt Tail helping, sure, you can do some big attacks, but you need like 10 to do 300 damage, and that doesn't even KO the stage 2 EXs, right? Most of those have 310 and above. Cretitan EX. The ability Snow Cover is what I want to talk about. Whenever your opponent plays an item or support card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to this Pokemon. I'm thinking Boss's Orders, Counter Catcher, Pokemon Catcher. Just, they can't target Cretitan EX with it, which means it's protected. And sure, getting 4 energy down on this Cretitan EX can be difficult. You can't, like, boss it up when it's not ready. You just put it in the active when you're ready. And then we've got the Crush Press attack, which I almost didn't include, but it does 140, plus you may discard a stadium card in play. If you do, this attack does 104 more damage. 280. That's 280 damage. Keep that number in mind. It's going to come up a lot. Like a lot. That seems to be the number Pokemon Company wants you to hit. Yes, it's a good number. It knocks out basic EXs, some stage 1 EXs. Cretitan, being a stage 1 EX, has 300 HP, so it wouldn't knock out an opposing Cretitan, unless you had like Maximum Belt or something. Then Maximum Belt would get you to that number 330, which is super big and important. Dondozo EX. That's right, Dondozo finally gets an EX, and I know my wife will be happy. Don't know why I said it like that, but Tsunami Reversal. I'm sorry. That was a joke from, long time ago. Tsunami Reversal. 30 plus. This attack does 10 more damage for each damage count on this Pokemon. This Pokemon has 260 HP, meaning it can have at most 250 HP without adding, without cards adding more total HP. So 250 damage on it. It will do 280 back. But there are ways to increase the HP in which then you can do more. So that's interesting. The other attack, don't worry about. Electivire EX. And this, we're talking about High Voltage Press, which is the second attack here. For 3 energy, you do 180. If this Pokemon has at least 2 extra energy attached, this attack does 100 more damage. Oh my goodness. You know what that means? 280 damage. Maximum Belt puts you up to 330. Wow. Sorry. You also have some spread with the Dual Bolt, but it's not nearly as important. It's just 50 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon. It's not bad. Shaman will counter it if it's not targeting EXs, and if it is targeting EXs, make sure it's not the Terra EXs, and then you're doing 50 to 2 Pokemon. Team Rocket Zapdos. I will try not to do that every time I read Team Rocket. I will try. Jamming Wing. For 2 energy, 30 damage, you may move an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their benched Pokemon. You attach a handheld fan on there, and you're moving energy every time they attack and every time you attack. Sure, it only does 30, but I actually really like that. It's 2 colorless, so just wait for that double colorless reprint. Or you use Crispin. The Dark Thunder attack, don't worry about. It's nothing important. Ethan's Pikachu. I am in love with this card. Yes, it's another baby Pokemon, but it's a 0 energy attack that does 30 damage, and you draw a card. It can knock out an opposing Bidoof because they are so annoying. Ethan's Pichu, come on. Let's just take those Bidoofs to town. Team Rocket's Ampharos. It's a stage 2, but it's Pauper legal. Darkest Impulse. If you have Team Rocket's Ampharos in play, whenever your opponent plays a Pokemon from their hand to evolve one of their Pokemon during their turn, put 4 damage counters on that Pokemon. The effect of Darkest Impulse doesn't stack. Sure, you can't stack this, so when they evolve, they take a ton of damage, but it's still something nice to have on the bench. I was thinking the Minun from the Paradox Rift, where they take damage when they attach energy, maybe you can combo these and get some good damage and some sneaky damage up down there, plus add in a spread damager. You know, there's a deck there. Popper, yeah, there's a deck. Will it be good? Meh. But there's a deck. Zera Aura. Let's see. This Zera Aura is kind of cool. I like the art. That art kind of looks sick. Like, I didn't know. Like, a cat with a unicorn horn? Like, a catacorn? That's pretty cool. Zera Aura Thunder Blitz. Its second attack for 3 energy. Discard all energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 210 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon EX. Do not target a Terra EX Pokemon. If you do, it's your own fault, you know? So this one, it's going to be one of those ones where it's going to take a while for it to become impactful, but when it does is when Terra Pokemon stop seeing so much play. And sadly, if this really does only target Pokemon EX, I feel like it's still not good enough. It should be able to target any benched Pokemon, because you have to discard all your energy, but I'm not the designer, so what do I know? Team Rocket's Hypno. This one is the second attack for 3 energy. Bench manipulation. Your opponent flips a coin for each of their benched Pokemon. This attack does 80 damage for each Tails. This attack's damage isn't affected by weakness or resistance. So if you think your opponent is not good at flipping a coin, this could do some damage. 80 for each Tails. That could do some damage. Let's see. 3 Tails and you're at 240. Think about that. Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX. Power Saver. This Pokemon can't attack unless you have 4 or more Team Rocket's Pokemon in play. So this really only will see play in Team Rocket only decks. Really can't imagine what other deck this could be played in if you don't have 4 Team Rocket Pokemon out. Yeah, it's doing nothing. Unless you can erase its ability somehow. I don't think that's possible. Eraser Ball. 3 energy, 160, plus you may discard up to 2 energy from your benched Pokemon. This attack does 60 more damage for each card you discard in this way. What's 160 plus 60 plus 60? Well, I mean, if I carry the 1, 280 damage. The number keeps coming up, people. If you add 2 and 8, you get 10. And Generation 10 is going to be announced at Worlds. Maybe. Possibly. Probably, but possibly. Team Rocket's Wobbuffet. Rocket Mirror. Move all damage counters from one of your bench Pokemon, one of your bench Team Rocket's Pokemon to one of your opponent's active Pokemon. So, we have seen this attack in other ways on other Pokemon. It's nothing new, really. But you know, if you're playing a Team Rocket only deck, Wobbuffet. If you're playing some Team Rocket, some other Pokemon, play one of the other ones, you know? Wobbuffet's a basic for 2 energy. The one I'm thinking of right now is Liepard, 1 energy, but it's a stage 1. Steven's Claydol. This is the first Steven's card, I believe. And we've got 2 attacks on here. The first attack, single energy, is Eerie Light. You do 20 damage, your opponent's Pokemon is now confused. I can see that for a bit of stall. And then for 3 energy, which honestly isn't that much, 220 damage, but you discard all energy from this Pokemon. So you can't over-attach, which is sad, but, you know, still, that's a single attachment when it's a ball toy. And then, oh, right. I need to mention the ball toy, right? Steven's ball toy, you get to search your deck for up to 2 Steven's Pokemon, put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. I kind of like that. It's a call for family, but for Steven. That sounded so mean. Steven's got a call for his family. No, but, you know, Clay Blast for 220 is pretty good. If this is Pauper legal, that's really good. This was in a starter deck, so we won't know its rarity. Technically, everything I'm telling you is Pauper in Japan, which I count those for my Pauper stuff, but other people don't. So we don't know if this is Pauper yet. Team Rocket's Chingling. Ringing Noise. Discard a random card from your opponent's hand. It's another baby Pokemon, so free retreat, 0 energy, all that stuff. It's Pauper legal. And if you can turn, going second, right? Your first turn, 0-6 Machinations, Ringing Noise. Your opponent has 2 cards in their hand, and they're going to draw a third on their turn. That's not a lot of cards to make stuff happen. You can stall decks so hard with that. Like, I don't think you quite understand how hard you can mess up some decks, right? Steven's Carb Inc. Stone Palace. The ability is what we're talking about. As long as this Pokemon is on the bench, each of your Steven's Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. The effect of Stone Palace doesn't stack. It's just Hop Snorlax, but in reverse. Rather than your Pokemon doing more damage, your Pokemon take less damage. Taking less damage is not as valuable as doing more damage. I will tell you that. But, you know, that's kind of what Steven's going for. Team Rocket's Mimikyu. Again, some spotlight here. Fantastic. Love that guy. Gem Mimicry. Mimicry. Choose an attack on your opponent's active Terra Pokemon. So, only Terra Pokemon. And use it as the effect of this attack. How beautiful is that? How amazing is that? Dragapult EX, being a Terra Pokemon, sure, you attach 2 energy to a Mimikyu. It's a single prize Pokemon. What was it? Articuno's been protecting it on the bench, so the Phantom Dive can't affect it. You got Lily's Clefairy on the bench, so Mimikyu can hit the Dragapult for weakness. You one-hit KO the Dragapult, then you place damage counters on their Pokemon. Like, yes, I could see this being played in so many decks. Like, Gardevoir decks is kind of a whatever. Of course you're going to play it card. Like, oh man, it's so good. It's so good. It could be so much fun. It's also Pauper, but don't play it in Pauper. Don't. There's no Terra Pokemon in Pauper. Don't play it in Pauper. Team Rocket's Orbeetle. Wow. Rocket Brain. As often as you'd like during your turn, you may move 1 damage counter from one of your Team Rocket's Pokemon to another of your Team Rocket's Pokemon. We have another card that's similar in a way. It's Slowbro. With the strange behavior where you get to, as often as you like during your turn, you may move 1 damage counter from one of your other Pokemon to that Pokemon. So Team Rocket, you get to move it around. So that could help something like a Wobbuffet do some good damage, you know? Just moving damage counters over, I mean. But you know what I mean. It could be fun. I don't know how serious this is. For 3 energy, Psychic, 40 plus 40 for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Yeah. It's alright. Oh, there we go. Annihilate. Yes, a new Annihilate card. Vessel of Rage. If this Pokemon has 2 or more damage counters on it, attacks used by this Pokemon do 120 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Oh, how much damage does Impact Blow do? 160. Oh, right. What was that math? 160 plus 120? That's 280. Why do they like this number so much? I don't know. And if it's really the 2 plus 8 equals 10, and Gen 10 is coming, oh. I like it though. Ethan Sudowoodo, attempt mimicry. So it's kind of trying to do what Team Rocket's Mimikyu can do, but as an Ethan's Pokemon, and it's on a coin flip. So for 2 colorless, remember double colorless, flip a coin. If heads, choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. Cool. You can use your opponent's attacks on a coin flip. I don't like the coin flip aspect, but I understand it's balanced. Yeah. Team Rocket's Tyranitar. I almost said Tyranny. Tyranitar. Sand Stream. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, put 2 damage counters on each of your opponent's basic Pokemon during Pokemon Checkup. which is fantastic. You know, it's just extra damage counters that you wouldn't normally get. 4 energy 180 is on the heavy side, but we also have to keep in mind Pupitar here with the explosive awakening attack where you do 30 damage, but you get to search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon, put it onto this Pokemon to evolve it, then shuffle your deck. Then it goes into Pokemon Checkup and there's 2 more damage counters. I like it. I really do. I think this is a sick combo. The fact that you can cheat out your stage 2s really helps it. Regirock EX. Is this the second Regirock EX deck we've got, or card that we've got? I think so. So its second attack for 4 energy, yeah, not great, is Giant Rock. Classic. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a stage 2 Pokemon, this attack does 140 more damage. Let's see, that's 140 plus 140. What was that? Yeah, 280 again. Cynthia's Garchomp. Cynthia's Garchomp is pretty interesting. And Cynthia's Gabite actually really helps here. Its ability, Cynthia's Gabite, is King's Call. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a Cynthia's Pokemon, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Which is fantastic. It's free Pokemon search. It's just awesome. So for a single energy, Spiral Dive, 100 damage. You may draw in cards until you have 6 cards in your hand, which is just awesome. Just flat out awesome. That's such a good attack. And then for 2 energy, you do 260. You have to discard all energy from this Pokemon, but that's fine because next turn you'll attach an energy and do Spiral Dive and draw up until you have 6 cards in hand. Hippowdon. This one I debated on putting on the list. I will be honest. Its second attack, Great Sandstorm. This attack also does 40 damage to each benched Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. That has any damage counters on it. Hawlucha is a great way to get early damage counters down on some Pokemon. Then Hippowdon could come in and add to that, put him up to 50 damage. 10 from Hawlucha, 40 from Hippowdon. But with it being a 3 energy attack, it's going to be difficult, right? It's going to be difficult to make it work. Team Rocket's Arbok, we're already on the Darkness Pokemon. We're going to be here for a while, just letting you know. Team Rocket's Arbok. So first off, this thing's Popper, which is awesome. We have an ability, Intimidating Glare. If this Pokemon is in your active spot, or is your active Pokemon, your opponent can't play any Pokemon that has an ability from their hand, excluding Team Rocket's Pokemon. It's ability lock, kind of. Ability lock we haven't seen for a while, so I kind of like it. At least I don't think we have any ability lock currently in the format, but I kind of like it. It's interesting. 3 energy, this deck does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Is fine if they don't have Shaman out. Then Hippowdon could come in. No. Team Rocket's Nidorina. Maybe I'm being too mean. This is the only, or no, this is one of the few pre-evolutions that I talk about. And then I talk about the evolution, because this thing is Popper, really. Dark Awakening, you choose up to 2 of your Darkness Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, search your deck for a card that evolves from that Pokemon, put it onto that Pokemon to evolve it, then shuffle your deck. Pretty nice. It's just TM Evo, but it's as an attack that you don't have to waste the tool slot for. Yeah, and if you're playing Nidoqueen anyways, well, Team Rocket's Nidoqueen, you're going to probably want this. And Team Rocket's Nidoqueen is Popper with the attack Love Impact 60 plus. If you have any benched Pokemon with Nidoking in its name, this attack does 120 more damage. Sadly, the only Nidoking that's not Team Rocket's Nidoking, well, that also is rare. Nidoking is rare. I didn't see any other ones, so we'll have to wait for this to become a Popper deck. But I like that it says benched Pokemon with Nidoking in its name. So Nidoking could work, Team Rocket's Nidoking could work, and also Team Rocket's Nidoking EX could work, but non-Popper. With Dirty Horn is really what I focused on. I mean, 4 energy, 240 is kind of whatever. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. During Pokemon Checkup, put 8 damage counters on that Pokemon instead of 1. Then Perilous Jungle could kick in and do 100. So you could do 200 damage with this attack. And if they don't get out of the active, that's another 100 damage before it becomes your turn. So freaking good. Team Rocket's Golbat. Wait, this is Crobat. Oh, jeez. So, Bite About. Okay, so I did mess up. This should be Team Rocket's Crobat. EX. Bite About. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, during your turn you may put 2 damage counters on 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. But also Team Rocket's Golbat with the Sneaky Bite ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, during your turn you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So it's just a nice way to put damage counters out there. And the first thing I thought of was Greninja EX, who had a similar but different thing, right? When you evolved it into, what's the middle one? Frogadier. I could read it. And then Greninja, right? Frogadier also had an ability that dealt damage counters. So Crobat actually does a little bit more than Greninja. And Crobat's attack, you can't see it because Golbat's hiding it, but Assassin's Return, 120 damage. You may put this Pokemon into your hand. So then you can, next turn, play down your Zubat, maybe evolve a Zubat that's already out there, maybe evolve a Golbat that's already out there. Just saying. There's more damage counters, and then you do Assassin's Return again, and again, and again, and again, and again. It's a thought. Team Rocket's Grimer. Corrosive Sludge. I don't know why I went so high with that. At the end of your opponent's next turn, discard the defending Pokemon, all cards attached to it. This is Pauper legal. I just wanted to point that out. This is Pauper legal. And that's pretty darn good. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty darn good. Like, discarding the defending Pokemon. Let's say your opponent has a real bad setup, right? So turn 1, all they got is their one Pokemon. They couldn't get a Buddy. They can't play Brock Scouting yet. They didn't get a Nest Ball. They didn't get Artisan, right? You've seen those games. And you have Grimer. That's a Crispin, attack, win. Just saying. Team Rocket's Muck. The first attack I don't really care about. The second attack, well, the first attack, okay, that was a little unfair from me. But the first attack is Sticky Mess, 40 damage for, and then your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused during your opponent's next turn. That Pokemon can't retreat, so it's harder to cure its confusion. Fine. The second attack for 3 energy is basically Cradilly's attack, where this attack does 100 damage for each special condition affecting your opponent's active Pokemon, but Cradilly came with the extra ability where you flip a coin and then if heads, you get to give them a special condition. Muck really only has that confusion going for it. Even Grimer doesn't help him in that fact, so meh. Team Rocket's Coughing. With the ability Alert Smog. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and it's damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, just damaged, not KO'd. Keep that in mind, but even if this Pokemon is knocked out as well. Search your deck for up to 2 Pokemon with Coughing in their name and put them on your bench, then shuffle your deck. It's a great way to get Coughings out. You know, 1 Coughing blows up, 2 more Coughings appear. Crazy. And then it is Pauper legal. That's could be important for a future Coughing Pauper deck. Team Rocket's Wheezing, also Pauper legal. All Out Explosion. This attack does 40 damage for each Pokemon in play with Coughing or Wheezing in its name. I was thinking about Drifblim when I read this. Drifblim, everyone explode now, did 50 for each Drifblim and Drifloon in play. This one does for each Pokemon with Coughing or Wheezing in its name. They don't have to be Team Rocket's Wheezing. Meaning, you could have 6 Pokemon out total. Times 4, that's going to be 24. Add the 0, 240 damage. And this Coughing's going to help you fill out your bench if you're struggling. I like it. 2 energy, Pauper legal, heck yes. Team Rocket's Murkrow. Its evolution is not in the set, interesting enough. And I really like it for the second attack. 2 energy, 30 damage. Attack's called Torment. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks during your opponent's next turn. That Pokemon can't use that attack. It's a solid attack, right? It's Pauper legal, solid attack. basically telling your opponent you can't use the attack that you want to use. You can only use the attack that you don't want to use, or you may not have another attack, so you just can't attack with that Pokemon. It's really good. Team Rocket Sneasel also doesn't have its evolution in the set. So the 2 energy attack Backstab, this attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon for each damage counter already on that Pokemon. So let's say your opponent has 100 damage on it. This would take you up to 300. Because it would do 20 for each damage counter. There's 10 damage counters, that's 200 damage, plus the 100 that I already had. It made me think of Acidic Spit, which does that, but only to the active Pokemon. This can surprise your opponent's benched Pokemon, which is what I really like about it. Being able to target those bench Pokemon that they retreat to get out of the active. Okay, you gotta have a boss's orders, but you've already used him. Oh, you have Team Rocket Sneasel. Just get 2 darkness energy on it. Boom. Cynthia's Spirit Tomb. That's right, we're back to Cynthia for a little bit. Raging Curse 10 times. This attack does 10 damage for each damage counter on your benched Cynthia's Pokemon. This attack's damage isn't affected by weakness. It's like Flail, but Flail for your entire team, which can be cool and interesting and good, and it's proper legal. Marnie's Liepard. Sharp Claw, if your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, this attack does 70 more damage. 140 seems a bit weak to me, but, you know, maybe there's something that can be made out of this. And maybe it will be Popper, and then it won't be nearly as bad. Marnie's Scraggy. Yes, I have Scraggy on here. I do not have Scrafty on here. Interestingly enough, right? Because the crunch attack, 50 damage, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. It's 3 energy, but I did play a Popper deck, so this will probably be Popper legal. I did play a Popper deck with Gumshoes, which was 2 energy, I believe 60 damage, and then it discarded an energy. This is on a basic, which does make it easier. Sure, it's more energy, but crispin, you know? And then Scrafty, I do want to just mention that second attack of it is 160 damage. Then it does 30 damage to itself. I don't think it's really good. I like the Scraggy way more. Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX. The Punk Up ability, you have probably heard about this card for quite a while. We're finally getting it. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 5 basic Darkness energy cards and attach them to your Marnie's Pokemon any way you like, then shuffle your deck. Whew. It's a lot like Charizard EX, only Charizard EX only got 3 fire energy. This is 5 darkness energy. Sure, it can only be attached to Marnie's Pokemon, but it's still freaking good. And then Shadow Bullet for 2 of those darkness energy, 180, similar to Charizard, but it doesn't ramp up at all, because all it does in addition is 30 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon, which Shaman's back, so that probably won't matter, but man, it might. We got Marnie's Morpeko. It's a 3 energy attack, which is high, but we did just talk about Grimmsnarl EX. Spiked Wheels. Wheels? It might just be wheel in the translation. But 20 plus, this attack does 40 more damage for each darkness energy attached to this Pokemon. And I did some math, right? So if you only attach 3 as the energy requirement for this attack, it's 140. If you attach 5, all of Grimmsnarl's ability goes into this Morpeko, you get 220. And if you use your turn, your 1 energy per turn to attach to Morpeko to hit that 6 number, that's 260. That's pretty good. I mean, it's a lot of setup, but it's pretty good. As a single prize attacker. Arven's Mobostiff EX. The first Arven's Pokemon, there's only like 2, so don't get too excited. The Hustle Tackle, 300 plus. If this Pokemon has no damage counters on it, this attack does 120 more damage. That's 150 damage. Heck, yes. So, on here, oh my gosh, my mouth is so tired of talking. On here, I have Bianca's Devotion, where you heal all damage from one of your Pokemon that has 30 HP or less remaining. Sure, it's got to be 30 HP remaining or less, but it does heal everything, right? There are other ways to heal Arven's Pokemon, sure. And we're going to talk about one later on. Steven Skarmory with that 3 energy Sonic Double. This deck does 50 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. I'm fully expecting this to be Popper, which does make it interesting. I know I mentioned Electivire EX having a 2 energy attack. That was kind of like whatever about. That did this, but this is different. It's a single prize Pokemon, and we have Metang. Sure, electric Pokemon have what's it called? Electric Generator, but you know, I've been sitting in this chair all day. I'm so tired. I just want to go home and sleep. Steven's Metagross EX with the X-Boot ability. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a basic Psychic Energy card and a basic Metal Energy card and attach them to your Psychic Pokemon or Metal Pokemon in any way you like. Then shuffle your deck. This is great. Sure, it can search for 2 different energy types, meaning the deck that this is in will probably be Psychic / Metal, right? And it can accelerate so much energy because it doesn't limit itself to 1 X-Boot a day, or a day, turn. You can use 4 of these if you're able to get 4 Steven's Metagross EXs out. I know there's some crazy person out there that's gonna pull this off. Zamazenta. Yeah. So for 3 energy, Strong Bash. This is where it gets good. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, put damage counters on the attacking Pokemon equal to the damage done to this Pokemon. So you do 70, and then Dragapult attacks you, and you get knocked out, but then 200 damage gets dealt to Dragapult, and then your next Zamazenta knocks out that Dragapult. I don't know, seems kind of good. The old Uno reverse, you know? Team Rocket's Raticate. I do have to mention, just to let you know, it does not negate the damage that goes on to Zamazenta. Zamazenta is not immune. Zamazenta still gets knocked out. I know I did say that in my example, but I just wanted to be clear. Team Rocket's Raticate. Recklessness. 90 damage. Flip 2 coins if both are tails. This Pokemon does 90 damage to itself. It's only a 25% chance to get double tails to knock yourself out. But it's possible. But it's a single energy. And it's Popper legal. I don't know. Seems fun. I like Raticate. I know I'm weird. I like Raticate. Team Rocket's Persian EX. With the Arrogant Command attack, the first one, reveal the top 10 cards of your opponent's deck. You may choose one of the revealed Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. Your opponent shuffles the other cards back into their deck. You may choose. I'm wondering if, because it says other cards back, do you discard the Pokemon that you use the attack of? Or does that get shuffled back in? I don't know, but it seems fun. Doesn't seem real good. Team Rocket's Persian EX can take advantage of Team Rocket energy. And top 10 cards? That's a lot of cards. I mean, once you draw your opening hand and do 6 prizes, that's like a fourth of your cards. Maybe a fifth. No, less than a fifth. But more than a fourth. Man. Team Rocket's Porygon Z. And in addition, Team Rocket's Porygon 2 squared, whatever you want to call it. So Team Rocket's Porygon Z does have the ability Reconstrute. You must discard 2 cards from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may draw a card. Not great draw. Just putting that out there. Not great draw. You're not playing it for the draw, though. Our command, for 2 energy, this attack does 20 damage for each supporter in your discard pile with Team Rocket's with Team Rockets in its name. And Porygon 2 has the same attack just for 1 more energy. That's pretty good. When we get to the trainers, you'll see how many trainers have Team Rockets in the name, and you'll understand why I say this is so good. Because there's a lot. Like a lot. Arven's Greedent, which I think this is the last Pokemon? Arven's Greedent, Greedy Order. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may put up to 2 Arven sandwiches from your discard pile into your hand, which is phenomenal. Arven Sandwich we're about to look into heals a lot. Then you'd want Professor Turo Scenario to pick it back up, play down the Squavette, and next turn you can evolve again. Just saying. Arven Sandwich. Heal 30 damage from your active Pokemon. If that Pokemon is an Arven's Pokemon, heal 100 damage instead. Arven's Greedent basically gives you an ability to heal 200 damage a turn. You just gotta keep looping Arven's Greedent, which will be difficult. But it's so good. And that's like all the Arven's cards. Arven really got the short end here. Like, Mabostiff, Greedent, and a Sandwich. Maybe one other. I don't think so, though. Cynthia's Power Weight. The Cynthia's Pokemon this card is attached to gets 70 more HP. We thought Bravery Charm was broken. Cynthia's Power Weight can go in Garchomp EX. I'm not going to go back to see how much HP Garchomp has, but it's got to put it near, 400. Near, at least. MC's Hype Up. It's just bad. Just ignore it. I put it in here because I'm covering all the trainers, but it's just bad. It's draw 2, and then if your opponent is halfway towards winning the game, draw 2 more. It's draw 4, but in the worst way possible. I'd rather play Lacey than MC's Hype Up. Energy Recycler. Much needed reprint. Holy cow. So many decks I've been like, you know what I need? Energy Recycler. You know what I can't play? Energy Recycler. You know what I gotta play instead? Super Rod. Energy Recycler. Just awesome. So awesome. So glad it's back. Welcome back to the family. Ethan's Adventure. Search your deck for up to 3 in any combination of Ethan's Pokemon and basic fire energy. Reveal them and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. It's Lana's Aid, but from the deck, which is good. One of the big problems with Lana's Aid is, I gotta get the Pokemon in, it's gotta be from the discard, so that Pokemon's gotta get knocked out. So if they're smart and avoid knocking out that Pokemon, and knock out other Pokemon, then I can't recover that one, and it gets real weird. Ethan's Adventure is just like, no, I'm getting from the deck. And then Typhlosion. Ethan's Typhlosion. Remember that guy? With each of these in the discard, you do 60 more damage. Yeah, so good. Granite Cave. The Stevens Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Yeah. 30 less damage. I already mentioned how Carbank was the opposite of Snorlax. Well, this is just the opposite of Postwick. That's it. They got kind of lazy with Steven, I guess. Sacred Ash. Shuffle up to 5 Pokemon in your discard pile into your deck. It's Energy Recycler, but Pokemon. That's it. That's the card. And it's good. I like it. I think it's great. I really do, actually. Spikemouth Gym. Once during each player's turn, that player may search their deck for a Marnie's Pokemon, reveal it, put it into their hand, then that player shuffles their deck. It's Pokemon Search. It is Mezagoza without the coin flip, as long as you're only playing Marnie's Pokemon. It's just good. It's just good. There's a reason why Artisan sees play instead of Mezagoza. It's that coin flip. Spikemouth Gym is just a better Artisan because it can also get evolutions. Team Rocket's Archer. This is going to be a long stretch of Team Rocket's trainer cards, so bear with me. They're all super good, I promise. Also, all trainers are, Pauper legal. A few are, printed as rare. Boss's Orders and Gita. but like, yeah, these are most likely going to be Pauper legal. So Team Rocket's Archer. You can play this card only if any of your Team Rocket's Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck, then you draw 5 and your opponent draws 3. It's basically Unfair Stamp as a supporter, but your opponent gets 1 more card. Which is still good. It's still good. Team Rocket's Ariana. I hope that's how you say it. Draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. If all of your Pokemon in play are Team Rocket's Pokemon, draw until you have 8 cards in hand instead. It made me think of Cynthia's Ambition. It's a little different, but as long as you only have Team Rocket's Pokemon in play, you get to draw up until you have 8. Now, just to be clear, that doesn't mean you only have to play Team Rocket's Pokemon, but it means you need only Team Rocket's Pokemon in play. So you can have 1 Pokemon in play. Team Rocket's Ariana lets you draw up until you have 8 cards in hand. That's good. Oh, did I skip one? No. Team Rocket's Factory. Once during each player's turn, if that player played a supporter card with Team Rockets in its name from their hand during that turn, that player may draw 2 cards. Does that seem familiar? If you played during Battle Styles, it should. Tower of Darkness was the same, except it had to be oh wait, no, it's not the same. Never mind. But it's a stadium that let you draw 2 cards, and it was broken. Team Rocket's Factory lets you draw 2 cards. And guess what? It's gonna be broken. Team Rocket's Giovanni. I mean, this is such a powerful card. Yeah. Would you expect anything less for the boss? Switch your active Team Rockets Pokemon with one of your benched Team Rockets Pokemon. If you do, switch in one of your opponent's benched Pokemon to the active spot. It's Guzma. It's Prime Catcher. It's both these things. Team Rocket's Great Ball. Flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for an Evolution Team Rockets Pokemon. Reveal it. Put it into your hand. If tails, search your deck for a basic Team Rockets Pokemon. Reveal it. Put it in your hand. Then shuffle your deck. It's Capturing Aroma, but just for Team Rocket. Capturing Aroma was awesome. This is awesome. Team Rocket's Intruder Robot. Choose one of your opponent's face-down prize cards and a random card from your opponent's hand. Your opponent reveals those cards. You may have your opponent switch the revealed cards. That prize card remains face-up for the rest of the game. That's important. Knowing what your opponent's prizes are is huge. I did partner this with Xerosix Machinations, so you force them to go down to 3 cards of their choice. Then you have them swap the card in their prizes for a card in their hand. It could get them a better card, but it's taking away one of the cards they chose, which is the important part. Team Rocket's Receiver. Search your deck for a supporter card with Team Rockets in its name, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. It's Pokegear, but better. It just lets you grab a supporter, any of those great supporters that we mentioned before. Any of them, just grab it. It's yours. Get to playing. Team Rocket's Patrol. Search your deck for a trainer card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. It doesn't even say a Team Rockets trainer card, just a trainer card. It's Skyla. It's Skyla. Team Rocket's Proton. If you go first, you may use this card during your first turn. Cool. Search your deck for up to 3 basic Team Rockets Pokemon, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. It's Clavel, but without the restriction of 120 HP, just the restriction of Team Rockets Pokemon. You can grab Team Rockets Mewtwo EX with this. Crazy. Team Rocket's Venture Bomb. Yes, we are still on Team Rockets. Flip a coin. If heads, put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. If tails, put 2 damage counters on your active Pokemon. Yeah. Team Rocket's Watchtower. Colorless Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's, have no abilities. This is true ability lock. Not the best ability lock we've seen, but this is ability lock. And I believe it is to try to stop fan Rotoms from doing their thing. Really, that's what I think it is. If you can prevent fan Rotom from fan calling, you can slow down your opponent a heck of a lot. They can't get their hoot hoots. They can't get their knockdown. They're just stuck. What do? Who knows? You're watching them, though, from the watchtower. A non-Team Rockets card, we must be near the end. TM Machine. Search your deck for up to 3 Pokemon Tool cards with Technical Machine in their name, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. TM Evo will be the most popular one with this, if it does see play. But you gotta remember, there's also Turbo Energize, De-Evolution, Blindside, Crisis Punch, and Fluorite. That's what they put in the water, isn't it? Team Rocket Energy. This card can only be attached to a Team Rockets Pokemon. If this card is attached to anything other than a Team Rockets Pokemon, discard this card. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides 2 in any combination of Psychic and Darkness Energy. It's double colorless, but better for Team Rocket's Pokemon. It's fantastic. 10 out of 10. Yeah. We're done. We're done. We're done. Best Trainer. I changed this to Ethan. There it is. I guess I forgot to change it. Best Trainer. Cynthia? Cynthia's good, but it's really Ethan. Best Trainer is Ethan. With the Ho-Oh being able to accelerate energy, the Magcargo being able to hit insane damage, with the Pichu that's able to be a direct Badoo counter, and with the Typhlosion that is a deck of itself. It's so good. Ethan is so good. Really, though, Team Rocket is the best. Look at all of it. It doesn't even all fit on screen. It's so much. It's so much. It's so good. Team Rocket really is the best. You want to know why? It took 2 slides to get all the cards represented on screen. The full cards are not displayed on screen. They're just represented on screen because these cards have most of the card blocked by another Pokemon card. These cards, you can see a lot more of them. Team Rocket is disgusting. Best illustration rares in my opinion. We're going to start with Rotom. Love me a Rotom, right? This Misty Psyduck, though, is going to be bank for anyone out there collecting. That's such an awesome card. And it's got the waifu tax. So, there's that. And then we get Meowth. This Meowth is what my wife and I want. We want this Meowth so badly. Our guy Meowth, he's not doing too well right now. He's throwing up a lot. And we're getting worried about him. He turns 12 this year. He is older. He is the last of our original 3. So sorry to be on a sour note, but we really want this card. Best full art Pokemon. Alright, so in 3rd place, I'm giving it to this Arven's Mabostiff because that purple... that purple is so good. I love it. Next, I went with the Dondozo EX because the blue swirls along with the whale just makes it all look so sick. I love it. And then Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX because look at that pose. Look at Giovanni. Does that not make you think of the movie? Right? Best full art supporters. So we've got the Team Rocket Protron. He's just looking good. The Judge, that chin. I mean, that chin. And then I went with MC, whatever it's called, because of the waifu tax. I think a lot of people are going to go for that one. And it's really colorful, really fun. So it's got that going for it. But that chin on that Judge, if only I could have a chin like that, you know? Don't look at my chin. Special illustration rare Pokemon. We went with, at 3rd place, Cynthia's Garchomp. I know a lot of people are going to say this one should have been number 1, but I disagree. It's a little bit busy, but I do like the fact that you got Garchomp doing stuff. You got Cynthia back there, and then Cynthia on a big projection, and I think that's funny. Next up, I've got the Team Rocket's Nidoking EX. I like this art style. It's very classic looking, you know? It looks like it's ripped from the early stages of the games, of the manga, of all that stuff. Not as clean of a look. Everything looks a little faded and a little dirty, and I like it. And then at number 1, we gotta go with the Ho-Oh EX, Ethan's Ho-Oh EX. Sure, it was Ash that saw Ho-Oh first. That's what it makes me think of, but sure, we'll give Ethan a shot with it. Special illustration rare supporters. So first we get Ethan's adventure, which is just adorable. We got Pichu, we got Slugma, and we've got Cyndaquil. Next up, we got Team Rockets. I believe this is Giovanni, but you kind of get everything in here, which is really nice. And then we got the Ariana, of course, the waifu tax, but also that is a gorgeous looking card. The background moving, how the light is reflecting off of that earring. It's really good. Best gold cards. I'm not too big of a fan of gold cards in general. I like them more since they've been adding color to them. But yeah, I think it's the Team Rocket's Crobat because we got that Team Rocket person in the background that just looks super jazzed. We got Jamming Tower, which I think that gold actually helps it in some ways. Make it look a bit more interesting. And then we've got Ethan's Ho-Oh EX. Yes, it gets another top spot. But just look at it. Right? Most jank new deck. The Rotoms. 108 damage. Hits multiple weaknesses. Pauper legal. This has my name written all over it. I will be building this. Probably the first deck I build. And we'll see how it does. Thank you so much for watching. The jank list always takes a long time. A really long time. To make. The slides, analyze each card, record me going through all of it. I appreciate each and every one of you that gets to the end. And if you did, please think of just liking and sharing the video so I can reach more people. Maybe subscribe, so you don't miss the next one. And I am trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by my birthday in September. So if you could help, that would be wonderful. And I put this Team Rocket's Eradicate because I love it. That guy just smiling through this madness that's going on with all these rats. I love it. So awesome. What's next, you ask? Well, it's Scarlet Violet, Black Bolt, and White Flare. This is our special set, and it's releasing July 18th. Every year we get at least one special set, sometimes two. This is ours. Well, we got Prismatic Evolutions. This is our next special set, so we're getting two this year. There's 6 Pokemon EXs, 8 Ultra Rare. Every Unova Pokemon gets an illustration or a special illustration rare, meaning that's like 156 Pokemon. That's 156 chase cards. Oh my gosh. And to top it all off, they're splitting the set. So I don't know exactly what that means for everything, but I'm worried that all it means is less cards for more money. I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like, You buy a pack, you get one rare, hope that rare's decent, if not, buy the next pack. So to collect everything, I feel like you're spending more money. To hunt down the good cards, I feel like you're spending more money. Hopefully it's not as bad as I fear. Someone in the comments, feel free to correct me that no, it's actually going to be good because it means half as much for twice as many cards. I don't know how that would be possible, but let me know. If they do split the whole set, that's going to be like less than 80 cards a set for the black set and for the white set. And that means you're going through a lot of commons to get those rares, meaning you're going to pull a lot of duplicates before you get those rares, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Japan has had split sets for a long time now. Seems to work for them. Maybe it'll work for us. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said before, I'll do all the YouTube stuff. And of course, until next time, keep playing jank.